Hypercars with wings may soon be a relic of the past, as the fins behind the all-new Jesko not only give it a distinctive appearance like an F-15 fighter jet, but this car literally has a speed 70 miles per hour faster than the takeoff speed of the jet itself, making it one of the fastest cars in the world today. Koenigsegg has never had trouble staying one step ahead of the competition in the highly competitive hypercar market. And with the Jesko labeled as one of the fastest cars in the world, the automobile company has once again proven itself. It not only has the revered 1-to-1 power-to-weight ratio, rare in street-legal hypercars, but it has also maintained its classic hypercar shape whilst being highly aerodynamic. So join us as we explore all features behind this awesome piece of technology, including its design, models, price, and if there are even any flaws in its make. Musk and Christian von Koenigsegg are the only two automakers today that are actually worth keeping an eye on. Musk, we all know, but despite being somewhat further out of the mainstream, Swedish impresario Koenigsegg is well known to supercar lovers. Since founding his automotive company 28 years ago, Christian Koenigsegg has managed to become a popular, genuine automaker who is more hands-on in the creation and production of his cars than Enzo Ferrari or even Ferruccio Lamborghini ever were. The 2002 delivery of the Koenigsegg CC8S, which was a hand-built, carbon fiber-bodied supercar, superbly powered by a 655 horsepower, supercharged, high-geared 4.7-liter engine, was the realization of Koenigsegg's 6-year-old dreams. He then went on to produce his first hypercar, the Agera RS, which had a peak speed of 278 miles per hour. That particular model held the record for the fastest production vehicle ever built. And now, a new hypercar with a lot of shared similarities is being launched to replace it. Called the Koenigsegg Jesko, the raging, swift automobile is a very limited production track-focused sports car. Anyone thinking conventionally might be amazed that the seemingly little unpronounced automaker can create and manufacture a completely street-legal car, capable of effortlessly defeating the Bugatti Chiron at its very own, extremely sophisticated and specialized game. But that is exactly the case with the Jesko. First, we should state that there are two versions to be offered, the Jesko Attack and the Jesko Absolute. The Attack is made for a better, improved racetrack performance with a stiffer suspension and a better high downforce aerodynamic, coupled with a huge rear wing and, for now, the deepest and definitely the longest front splitter ever fitted to a Koenigsegg. The Absolute is a fast variation of the Attack. The design and the engineering work for the Absolute took an additional 5,000 hours. Therefore, the Absolute will cost more than the Jesko, since more effort had to be put into its design. While the 2024 Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute is completely and utterly about raw speed, it forgoes the Attack's enormous V-shaped rear wing, along with its front splitter and the ducting strapped through its hood. It, however, features two huge fins at the engine cover, created to improve its high-speed stability. This was coupled with a repro-filed 3.4-inch longer tail and pretty flush coverings on the rear wheels to help reduce the imminent drag. Though unconfirmed due to incomplete physical tests, company founder Christian Koenigsegg announced that computer modeling suggests that this Jesko Absolute is going to have a top speed north of a whopping 310 miles per hour. This mind-blowing speed would place it in an undisputed position among one of the fastest cars in the world. The engine behind the Speed uses the world's lightest V8 crankshaft, offering new, super lightweight pistons and connecting rods with more strength and lighter weight than the previous generation titanium units. The 5-liter V8 can generate as much as 1,280 horsepower and 1,106 pound-feet of torque on pump gas. The output can reach up to an astonishing 1,600 horsepower, causing the car to zoom to top speeds. There's only one other modern hypercar engine that could manage to achieve such an amazing feat, and that is the 6.5-liter V12 found in the Ferrari Daytona SP3. But as a matter of fact, Koenigsegg's engine has a more explosive feel than Ferrari's V12, not only because it can produce more power and torque, but rather because it all engages in a much more compressed rev range, with the red line being 8,500 RPM, where the Ferrari could spin to 9,500 RPM. No less extraordinary than the engine is the remaining parts of the Jesko's drivetrain. The power and torque derived all channeled to the rear wheels through Koenigsegg's creative, ingenious, innovative 9-speed, light-speed transmission called the LST. Power is supplied to the rear wheels via an all-new 9-speed LST, which offers instantaneous response times, making it one of the best high-performance transmissions around. Koenigsegg had previously bragged about how the LST would make the usual dual-clutch transmissions look archaic, and honestly, that was no idle gloat. Normal dual-clutch transmissions function by shifting gear sets to pre-choose what the electronic foresees as the next required gear. It then concurrently covers the clutch on that gear whilst bringing out the clutch on the last head used. But contrary to that, in the LST, there are no moving gear sets. Instead, all the gears in the transmission are working frequently. The incorporation of gears through which the drive is given to the output shaft is chosen by opening and closing 6 separate clutches in the transmission. The combined effect of the gearing creates 9 forward speeds. The reverse is controlled through a 7th clutch, and since the gear sets don't have to shift into place, the transmission can be changed directly from, an example, 8th to 4th gear immediately, simply by opening and closing the needed clutches. Revolutionary. This innovative LST weighs about 198 pounds, which is approximately 2/3 the entire weight of a normal high-capacity dual-clutch gearbox. It is half the mass of the 7-speed SEMA automated manual, utilized on the company's previous vehicle, the Agera. Other benefits of the LST transmission include the fact that no clutch or flywheel is needed on the edge of the crankshaft. With the smooth transitioning, you can feel this the moment you place your foot on the Jesko's gas pedal. Powertrain aside, the 2024 Koenigsegg Jesko's swiftness, agility, and stability are also incredibly impressive. The car feels marvelously light on its feet, and despite its mass, strength, and speed, the vehicle is really quite delicate. It weighs almost the same as a Honda Civic, and its rotational mass from the hollow carbon fiber-filled steering wheel complements the low dormancy of the Hypercar. It also features enormous carbon ceramic rotor brakes, which measure up to 16.1 inches up front and 15.6 at the back, and are fastened by calipers of Koenigsegg's own make. The brakes are almost indestructible, and even if the brakes are smashed at hyper triple-digit speeds, the Jesko simply stops. This hypercar can be driven with just your fingertips and toes. At the press of a single sleek button, the Jesko's doors carefully shut, twisting and rotating on the company's distinctive doors' dihedral synchrohelix hinges. And at the press of the shiny start button, the V8 gently rumbles into life. With such a fast car, the design has to ensure that while being seated, the occupant enjoys a speedy but comfortable ride, and this is exactly what the Koenigsegg has achieved. The Jesko's all-brand new tub gives the space for more legroom and headroom than in all previous Koenigseggs, making the cockpit roomy, and the usual trademark convolving windshield offers terrific forward visibility. The car seats too, and even has a removable hardtop so you may drive in the open air. Other standard features of the interior include power windows, adjustable pedals, and an adjustable steering column. The lightweight Quartic steering wheel is flattened artistically over and under the rim, fully adjustable for each reach and rake. The pedal box can also be adjusted. Likewise, the carbon fiber shell seats. Though its 9-inch touchscreen appears very familiar because it's from the exact supplier Volvo utilizes. However, all interfaces and information displayed are unique to the Koenigsegg make, and there's no instrument panel in the traditional, conventional sense of the term. Instead, there's a small 5-inch screen mounted on the steering wheel boss that displays all drive-relevant data: the revs, its speed, the gear or drive mode, etc. By the usual Koenigsegg standard, the Jesko is going to be a volume car. The automotive company has produced only 250 cars since 2002, but with the Jesko, It plans to manufacture 125 during the next few years. Every single one has been sold, despite the steep, pricey, exorbitant $3 million price tag. Would you ever want to take a ride in a hypercar as fast as this? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And for more insight on sensational automobiles, subscribe to this channel to be notified when we have more awesome content.